So I've heard rambling that like I said, we really need to temper the expectations on the patches coming. That there's just going to be mostly a hotfix. But I've heard rambling that if they touch something, which is not probably not going to be Kaisa, it might be the Bard package because it's been on the radar pre expansion. Like Bard was like coming up into people thinking it's like it's a problem. The play patterns are toxic. It's not too good. Do you guys think we're gonna see some Bard touch up? And and if so, what would make sense to like maybe not kill the card or like kill the card? Question mark.
I'm pretty sure the correct bard change is just end of turn instead of start of turn. It's a really slight
Very
it's
small
a
change.
really slight poke, lets it still do its powerful super buff thing, and just says you're not gonna draw chimes on turn one anymore because fuck that, and you're probably not gonna draw chimes on turn two.
Which is
I
the
feel
most
like
important time.
I feel like drawing chimes on turn one like happens so rarely that it doesn't matter. I
Yeah.
think slowing it down to one turn.
And I
doesn't-
also think that the turn one hit like 3-2 instead of 2-1, they almost never matters unless
It's
you
the
don't have a 1-drop or a 2-drop, so you get to attack and open on 3 with it. Outside of that, it almost never kind of really matters. But it's like it's still gonna compound effects every turn, right? Like you're gonna hit chimes less and less every turn. This is still 3 less every turn.
I feel
Yes.
I just want to say real quick, I don't think slowing it down one turn matters enough. I think that Bard will be just fine and will like still be crushing. I think that the only way to fix Bard is he just doesn't shuffle natural chimes until turn 4. Like that's my play because like turns 1, 2, and 3 are the only ones that really matter because you're limited on mana. You can't actually affect it. The fucking voice of the sea coming down is like a 4/4 or a 5/5. It's just like, what the fuck am I supposed to do with this? Whereas like at past that, if he's like shuffling in and giving you like per turn value, dope. Yeah, if you want to buff him and make him shuffle more after that, sure, go for it. I just think that he should not be shuffling in the first 3 turns because those are the ones that are really fucked up and feel really bad.
Removing all those 3 wins, like that tank the win rate by like between 5 and like 9% or something like that. Like you do get some free wins from like early chimes, and taking away from that win rate, that decks become like under 50% win rate. I feel like that sounds like I'm not saying I'm not okay with this, and again, I do think Bard has been on the radar for a long time, and the way the patches are working, they usually like the patch has been made 2 weeks in advance because like they have to roll out mobile at the same time. So like if they made a change 2 weeks ago to Bard, what would it be? And if that's a change, that's kind of harsh.
Yeah, I think I'm with Kever on this one. I think the round end chimes is good enough, because like it's like the bird double chime on 2 that like really gets you, or hitting.
So stupid.
Yeah, that's dumb. Or like those are the ones you just roll them, or like the like you said, getting the 3/3 to 4/4 and stuff like that. But I think that is less of a Bard problem. Like I have no problem with Bard being good. I think like Bard being good is totally fine. I think the big problem with like the chime landing on like the Voice of the Seas, is that the card's name? Like that?
Sea's voice.
Sea's Voice or something like that.
2/3.
Yeah.
2/3 for 3.
I think the problem with that is it's just like Illaoi Bard just stat checks you over and over and over and over and over again, and their units are already very well statted. So when you hit these chimes on like these relevant units, it just wins every stat check. Like you just can't ever keep up with it. I think the Illaoi package needs to be tuned down, not so much Bard. I want to see like Sea's Voice become a 3/2. I want to see Illaoi become a 1/5, and I think like the Bard change round end
You want to
would probably be
nerf
enough.
Illaoi?
I
You
do.
wanna nerf her?
Yeah.
Outside of Bard Illaoi, like has she been egregious in Mono Ionia Illaoi in your mind, or?
Well, the best card of the package is Tentacle Smash, but like, how are you gonna nerf Tentacle
Smash is
Smash?
absurd, but she's allowed to
nuts.
have a good card.
That's true. Yeah, that's true.
Okay, the problem in the deck is, I guess it's a combo of the two, but Bard has been shown to be a problem in other decks.
That's
so, like,
yeah, sure.
Illaoi probably hasn't. Like it's coming from the fact that I did play Ionia Illaoi in the last seasonal, by the way, and I don't know about that one. But yeah, like I like the Tentacle Lady just fine.
I think the issue with Illaoi is that like she's not insane and she's really good, but like all of her support is fucking bonkers. Like I have Nakaboros is insane, Tentacle Slam is insane. I even think that like Riptide Sermon is really good. The 1-drop, if you have it on 1, is really good.
Very good.
She has so many incredibly strong cards around
Yeah,
her
I'd agree with
that
that.
like not hitting the package at least a little bit seems like a miss.
That sounds fair. That sounds fair. And also speaking of champions, that not sure about them. Like anybody figured out Gwen yet? Jordan maybe.
So closest I've got is this new deck that I've been messing around with a little bit. I've been trying to look into Targon Gwen. I don't know if it's Copium yet. I've been doing okay with it so far, but I've had a bunch of decks where I went like plus 100 LP, minus 200 this season. So we're gonna see if I can hold on to it. I'm enjoying myself, and I've kind of decided that's what I care about more. I'm basically just playing another Targon Atro deck, and I love that. So we'll see if it turns into something real or not.
She's my favorite champion. Like
She's
the
cool.
play patterns, the units, the support there, it's all cool. It's like I guess missing either something or it's least like the most hard to figure out for a shell that makes sense. I was very hyped for that 12 hours with Gwen Riven.
Yeah, I thought I was so close to getting it, and I just like needed a few more iterations to finish the tuning, and it just, no matter what I put there, it was just like 1 or 2% off of being this really powerful thing, and I had to put it down. I was a little sad.
My Gwen decks keep losing to Kaisa.
Gwen Riven beats Kaisa, actually.
I don't want to
Yeah,
play Riven.
That's fair.
I was playing like Ionia Gwen because I thought that was so funny. Like pumping up the droplet to hit them for like 10 or something, or pumping up Ari to get the double hit, pumping up Zed. Like I think that's hilarious. And then Sparkling Iced Tea just posted a really cool PNZ Shadow Owls control list where it's like very high on the traps. So it's like Sting Officer, Caitlyn, Caitlyn's 3-mana thing, and then it plays 2 Gwen, 1 Vi. And I was really enjoying that. It's basically Sentinels without Sentinels.
Yeah.
And Gwen feels very good in that deck, very good. But then, you know, sometimes they do the supercharged thing and the Rite of Negation on Kaisa, and you're like, well, damn.
Having fun.
But something to watch out for post Kaisa dominance, I guess.
In 2 weeks. In 2 weeks.
In 2 weeks, yeah.
I'm gonna assume I'm gonna assume Sharpsight is gonna get fixed, and then we're gonna still have 2 weeks of Kaisa where supercharge probably should be slow, or the Earth champion enter the battlefield card probably also should be slow.
I want that one to be slow. I want second skin to be slow.
Second skin, yeah.
Yeah, I think you can keep supercharge. Like I would like supercharge to get nerfed. I think it's too good.
You want to keep supercharge?
No, I want it to be like 4 mana or not her champ spell, either one. But I think second skin should be slow. I think second skin being slow and a small nerf to supercharge would fix the entire problem with Kaisa.
It's fun exercise then. Like if we change her champion spell, what would it be? It's Shurima card.
Just a pile of shit. Just like a literal.
Just make it the one that like shoots, right? The 1 mana deal 1 that deals 3 if you're evolved.
Oh, that one.
Oh.
Yeah, that'd be really cool. Actually, that's a cool card. I wanted it to be like a basic forest.
My worry with Kaisa is like if you just look at Kaisa and you just want to fix Kaisa, we continually keep having these Shurima combo decks come back over and over and over and over and over. And I think that we need to like go in and actually hit what's broken in these. I think that like Riot Negation needs to be 5 mana. I think that Hourglass needs to be 3 mana. Just straight up. I think that that's what needs to happen because we keep getting these broken ass Shurima combo decks. And I don't like playing against them.
I agree with both of those, actually. Yeah.
Make it also Siphoning Strike. I saw in the chat. Same as Nat's spell. It's a shitty spell.
Just every Shuriman champion spell is just Siphoning Strike.
Yeah. Hourglass is the most egregious one. Hourglass
Hourglass gotta go.
card is too good. It has always been too good, but it's never really shown. Since I was like a main like Shurima Viego guy, the Hourglass always felt completely bonkers, like never acceptable. The mana that you get off of those trades.
What I'm hearing is that we need to make Kaisa's champion spell Hourglass, and that fixes everything.
Yeah.
5 head.
And it should be burst speed
Yeah, there we
Right,
go.
sure, why
to
not?
fit with the rest of her kit. Yeah.
Yeah, Shurima just has like too many must answer champions that are also really durable that also just like hard punish you for trying to kill them. I think that's just the issue that needs to get hit in here. But yeah,
What if Kaisa
we're
just
gonna
wasn't
be
so
like,
big?
Six on
What if Kaisa
5.
was just what if she was just smaller?
It doesn't
Like,
matter.
why she so? It does though.
You're not gonna kill her.
You can race her. You can kill her. Like if she was a 4/4 all the time, not such a big deal.
I
A 6/6
disagree.
Fucking brutal. There's been lots of times where I've like come close to out racing them or outstatting them or whatever, but like a 6/6 challenging, quick attacking, pinging all your shit is just like, okay, it's a bit much. Like
Yeah.
you need to ratchet. If it was like a 4/4 challenging, pinging all your shit, quick attacking, I could probably still deal with that. You could even like as a P&Z player, you could like point 2 burn spells at it and kill her sometimes. But a 6/6, or just have like one big fucking dude and like dare them to bluff into it or something, or just have a big tentacle. But like fuck, the 6/6 quick attack pinging is like it's too much. Like how I don't know, what would you make her, like a permanent 4/4?
Probably.
Like she just doesn't evolve or something.
Nerf a couple things around her before nerfing like her
stats, yeah.
Like maybe add a keyword, like maybe instead of 6 it goes to 7, as well as like fixing the sharp side bug. I do believe that she shouldn't, even if your deck is built with it in mind, I don't think she 100% of the time should be flipped on 6, and that's the case right now. That's the case with Rancher's Resolve and like all the sharp side. And at first we were playing like things like Radiant Guardian, and people just figured out, oh, by the way, like just put any cards that like actually try to play the game. Just focus on that game plan, because like if she's flipped on turn 5 every time, very little decks can like actually proactively come out of that trade merely ahead and not die to a bomb on or something.
I'm with you, Jason. Like I agree with you. 6/6 quick attack, overwhelm, whatever. Kaisa is like, it's bullshit. It is. But I think we run into, even if we fix that, we run into the same problems that like Aikado's saying, is that like supercharge, Zanya's, Rite of Negation, like you're still just getting blown out and you're still losing to those no matter how big Kaisa is.
I'm not saying like
that
don't touch
package
other
will
things.
still be problematic
Yeah.
in the year.
And it's not just Kaisa, right? It's just
No, I totally
over
agree.
and over and over.
And I feel like you guys missed another one. What about the Rite of the one that goes
Summoning?
and searches up at champ?
I like that card. I don't want to.
I think that one's all right.
I
Actually.
think that
I think it's pretty because that's another problem. It's just they always have Kaisa
What if
because they play 6.
What if
color identity? Like,
you remove? What if like Zanya's and Rite of Negation weren't as good? Would you still have such a problem with it?
With
Zanya
what?
being-
Well, like with Rite of Summoning, like if you could deal with the Viegos easier, if you could deal with the Kaisas, like would you care about Rite of Summoning as much?
Kinda. I feel like that card is just very, very good. Like a little too good.
It is
It's
very,
definitely
very good.
good. I think I like the like you pay for it, right? Like you're paying for it with a unit or with a mana gem. I think that if you want to like go
It's like
all
3
in on
a
your
time,
champions in the region, it's like about drawing champions. Like sure, I think it's fine. I think it's totally a fine card. Real quick, chat is saying that instead of hitting the survivability options in Shurima, they want to hit quicksand, which feels like it just exacerbates the issue because quicksand's kind of our only answer to these keyword abominations.
Sexy
I don't
Jason
know if
is
that's the way
here.
to go.
Is it even an answer really though?
Looking good.
It's a copium answer, bro.
It's a band-aid to a gunshot wound.
Occasionally pretends to be an answer.
I think if you removed quicksand, that's a buff to Kaisa. I think.
I like quicksand. Question: anybody here believes that Mono Kaisa isn't the best one? Like, is there any Akshan Kaisa or Sivir Kaisa believers here?
Not Akshan.
I think
Well,
Silver's good.
I think Sivir's good. I think Mono Kaisa is probably better, but I think Sivir's quite good.
I realize that I'm outvoted, but I'm still an Akshan fan.
You just like him.
Yeah, I don't.
Best
So
design
unimpressive.
champion in the game.
So here's the thing. For me, and maybe this is just like the way I like to play the game, and the deck is just decidedly more powerful as a Mono Kaisa all-in combo deck. I honestly, like at this point, I think I'm coming around to that too. The reason that I play the Akshan version is because you still have the ability to go oops you're dead on 5 or 6, but it's very much the turn 8 deck. Like it will consistently like A-bomb full keyword protection every game. And I think that when people are trying to stop Kaisa, it is more powerful to be that resilient, powerful, I'm going to kill you on 8 than it is to be trying to go more all in on the combo. I think that in a metagame where people know about it less, the all-in version is better. I think that once you actually have to try to pay attention to people interacting with you, I'd much rather be on Akshan.
I agree if that was week 1, but week 3, and it's still the version posting the most number, even if people know about it. It feels like it'd be true if the protection package might have not have been as good. Akshan will help the consistency, but it's just been so consistent and so good.
Also, people play the Akshan version really bad, but
That-
that's a different
That might be it, but like the mono one, even if people, my point is the mono Kaisa one, even if people is the version that's most expected, it is still crushing. It is still like too good. So
Yeah.
like,
'Cause I feel
if
like
that's the case,
there's-
why not just go all
I
in?
also feel like
Just
there's a little
go
bit
all
of
in mono
room
Kaisa.
for the all-in deck to get even
We
greedier.
don't hear you quite well, Jason. I
You
think.
don't hear him? I hear him fine.
I hear
hear-
Oh, never
Okay.
mind. It was me. That was on my side. My bad.
Okay. I was gonna say I think there's room for the all-in Kais to get even greedier, right? Like they're starting putting like hourglasses and even like more ride negations, or I mean, there's room to do that, although very limited. But if they wanted to, they could, and that obviously makes those like counter match or those like removal based decks a lot harder to deal with, because you can just drop Kais on 5 on your opponent's attack turn and then have like hourglass up and something like that, and then vengeance all of a sudden just doesn't really do anything, and they can just like play a turn slower. Maybe it's not turn 5, maybe it's turn 6 or something like that. So I do really like the overall consistency because it is very consistent relatively. You know, needed by turn 5, Rite of Calling, natural draws.
Stab it, yeah.
Yeah, you just generally have it by that time. I have been also seeing Sivir, which I think is pretty neat as well. You can play a little bit slower, just another unit to give Spell Shield on, which is like nice if you curve 4 into 5 and don't have 3 mana up, just have another Spell Shield unit around. So that's my sort of thought.
The off attack token Kaisa on 5 fork is such a pain in the ass to play against.
It's so stupid.
Because they play it on your turn, right, with mana up, and then you sit there and you're like, okay, I can Vengeance Kaisa and I lose to Hourglass, or I don't Vengeance Kaisa and I lose to Supercharge, and then they have both and you lose anyway. Like that's just been my experience every single game. It's like I just can't deal with this, and like you said, it's
a
so
little rough.
it's
Let me
it's
float
so
this out
consistent.
there and see if you guys agree. I feel like the thing with Kaisa that's even more frustrating than like anything else is that it feels like a lot of the Kaisa players play with zero brain and just jam shit and win anyway. And it pisses me off because if they played better, the deck could be even stronger and even less fun to play against. But they just jam shit and win. It's just so fucking frustrating.
So you're saying people aren't good enough yet with the deck that's posting
I'm saying people
57 plus.
It is better than
bad
it's better
and
than its
winning
win rate.
anyway.
I 100%
I mean, you can say
think
you can say the same about Bard Illaoi, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes,
but-
I can.
The amount of play you have in Bard Illaoi is, I would say, sometimes reduced. Sometimes it just plays itself, and even if you wanted to make a mistake, you really couldn't.
There's a lot. I
Kai's
think
pretty
there's a
good.
lot more play in Bard Illaoi than people realize.
I
I've
agree with
actually
you.
been,
I actually like the deck, and I think people are.
I've been enjoying it, and I think it goes in a lot of different directions. I think people are playing that one very badly too. I think actually, like, and I try not to be the doomsayer so much, right? But I think right now we do have a metagame that is on the same level as Aphelios and Fizz was back in TF Fizz times. I think we have two decks that are just better than everything else by a country fucking mile, and people are bad at them and they're still winning.
Find me the Lee Sin of that metagame, man. Please.
I'm trying. I am
Yasuo
trying.
Katarina.
Okay.
Yasuo
Katarina.
Katarina. Talk to me about Yasuo Katarina. Like that deck since maybe 3 days ago, I just haven't seen it anymore. What's up with that?
I've been seeing a lot more. I have not me necessarily, but I think like the Noxus decks are really bad into it. But I think I'm in a spot where I'm like at least like even or like fine. Illaoi is a little bit tougher because sometimes like high roll stat you, and then if you like you can't really chump block with the deck very easily. But into like you know, token on 5 for the Kai'Sa decks, just drop the Windswept Hillock, and then it gets a stun again. You have Phlox open up after that. It feels pretty okay, and it just I just don't know. Like I just keep winning with the deck. I don't quite understand. But like you can play very aggressive too with Katarina, and I feel like not many decks right now can deal with Katarina, especially through like a Twin Discipline or like a Nopify. And then if you have like one like Blade Twirler on the board, and then you drop like Windswept Hillock on 5, there's not really a lot of board-based decks that can do too much about it.
You're just gonna win eventually through
Right,
sheer high power. And
Exactly. You're forced to block down on the Blade Twirler. You're forced to maybe not block the Katarina, and then you have the Blade's Edge. You have the Yasuo stuns, and then you have like Flock, things like that to like really farm up. So like I've been liking like Will of Ionia in my deck. Obviously, it doesn't really play well into like Hourglass on 5 if they have it, but if they don't have it, it's a nice card. And then it's good at resetting tentacles too. So
That's
if
pretty
you,
good.
like if you like try to tentacle slam your Yasuo and it's a 5/5 and you like Will of Ionia their tentacle and it's a 3/3, they just do 4 mana, do nothing, and they have relatively limited interaction apart from like vulnerable stuff.
Then
So-
why is it in the last 2 days that like the play rate is now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? It's the 8th most popular deck, and I feel like it was like top 3 like for like the first 2 weeks, and I
The
just
hype definitely died down, and I think there's a lot of like Noxus decks, like Tri-Beam's coming back for some reason. I
Okay,
think that dropped
bet.
off as well. And then TF Annie, I think, is doing pretty decently right now. So that's definitely like a pretty bad matchup overall. But
How do you
still
feel about
playable.
the swap to TF Katarina? That's what a lot of people
I
have
love it.
done.
I don't want to play Katarina in that deck.
I
I need
love
it in my Yasuo deck. What do you mean?
I've been the biggest TF Annie hater since last season. It really never appealed to me. Flox deck, Scorcher deck. The fact that some people are switching to Katarina, I don't know. I had an epiphany of that deck, and now like it all clicks. It all makes sense. I don't have to play that bad one drop card. Tibbers was never good. It's all about tie bulk, and getting to attack in your opponent turn after you playing a tie bulk is an actual win con. That's not Riptide Rex because that win con sucks. While it's
Hey,
still
yo, come on. Rex is fucking goaded.
Rex
you
is
got a Rex
actually
right of negation.
Just play Farron. Real talk. I have lost games to Rex. It does good things. Just play fucking Farron. Farron is just a better card in
I
so
don't
many
know.
ways.
I've been
You
impressed
still
by
have to
Rex.
play some amount of Rex in that deck.
You don't.
Okay.
It is just
really
it is an
does.
I win trigger, which is kind of nice. Like you literally
big
like
thing-
it just ends the game on the spot.
I think the biggest thing about Rex is that the turn 8 open attack forces your opponent to waste so many resources just to stop Rex from blowing you the fuck
Yeah,
up.
every turn for the rest of the game.
Then you
Just
just blades it.
then you just
Do
make it rain
anyways.
anyway. Yeah.
They put them in a fork, and I think that's important to have that still exist in your deck. But
Yeah.
Maybe
being
one.
reliant on that to win was my main problem with the deck. And I feel like the swap to Katarina, like it changes that like completely on its head. And I don't know. And now I've turned from the hater of that deck to I actually love it, and I'm actually playing it.
I'm actually
Kinda
I have a lot of experience with these. I played Ezreal Annie like so much. Loved that deck. Loved it.
The
Loved it. Loved
PvP
it. Loved it. Loved it. Loved it. It was that when I would get upset or tilted or sad, I would just go play Annie Ezreal, and I had a blast, even when I was losing.
Comfort pillow.
Twisted Fate Annie came out. Hated it. Same as you. Not my thing. Did not enjoy it, which shocked me because I expected to enjoy it. And I just did not like it. Annie was terrible. You cannot play Annie in this meta. There's Petricide Broadwing. There's Hired Gun. There's Tentacle Smash. Like she's
There's
just
Valor.
yeah. There's Valor. Like it's just miserable to try to play Annie right now. And Katarina just like works so much better. So same thing. Swapped Katarina. Played one game. I was like, ooh, yeah. It just feels better.
Maybe your tie ball comes a turn later because you don't have like two pros of Annie.
It's fine.
I guess.
All right.
I'm
I
curious.
think Annie's nice, but again, like Tentacle Smash, Hired Gun, Valor, like she's just it's rough out there.
liability.
You know?
What do you say, Jason?
I was gonna say I feel like Katarina's like really good. Sometimes it gets a little awkward. I saw Majiin playing it. He has a token, and then his only option is to play Katarina down on token. Not that the deck really cares that much about the rallies because your board is often pretty weak and flimsy, and maybe you're just getting like a 0-mana deal 2 or 3 or 1 or whatever it is. But I feel like there's other decks that utilize Katarina better, which is funny enough because now we're competing for a Katarina slot.
What happened to this game?
Right.
Katarina was like sometimes a casual one.
I saw Haneke splashing in Scion. I obviously won in Yasuo, and now there's like this TF Katarina deck. I don't know what does it best, but I'm not sure it's TF Annie or that
There's
slot in
also
that deck.
Katarina Bandle. There's a lot of Katarina. Katarina is just a really good card. Disintegrate being added into the game and Conservatory being added into the game like just helped out a lot. Her Blades edges are great. She's just good. She's just really good.
Yeah.
I don't want her to be good, by
Wild.
the way.
I also don't want her to be
Really?
good.
Like you don't like her play patterns, the
No,
fork that she put you on?
I fucking
But-
hate it. You have to stare at this 4-mana rally for the rest of the game. You don't even have to play it. It just stares at you, face up in their hand. It's like, okay, well, I can
That's-
never do anything.
Hang on, that's like slightly not fair because like every deck that runs Katarina can't protect it besides Katarina Yasuo, and we have Kai'Sa over here.
What do you
like,
want me? You want me to be
are-
playing Tri-Beam right now
Are you
on
guys
ladder,
putting
bro?
Katarina in the same bucket as Kai'Sa? It's like, how would you hate it? Like, what's going on here? You just killed Katarina.
Oh, just
So-
kill Katarina.
It's not about the
for it,
Katarina. It's about the
Just
rally.
kill Kai'Sa. It's the same thing.
Oh my god.
So I
though.
hear.
I support it.
So the problem is everything that would be good against Katarina is so god awful against Kai'Sa that it got pushed out of the metagame.
That's probably true.
Probably true.
Yeah, that
There
makes
is-
sense.
The
There-
other thing, I don't mean to be a doomsayer, by the way, of the meta, but if Kaisa gets fixed, guys, Thralls is still broken as fuck. I just need you guys to know that.
I'm
Thralls
sure,
is
I'm
fucking
sure
insane
some
right now.
Katarina beatdown just like crushes Thralls because they don't run
Uh,
Avalanche for some reason.
I think Troll is getting both checked by Bard and that good Bard version, Illaoi and Kaisa, and that's kind of enough-ish.
I'm just saying, we've been talking about a lot of nerfs to those decks.
Yeah, I would like Thralls getting nerfed still. I'm still on that train since day one. Maybe not
Poor
day
guys.
one,
They-
but this
they-
year, since this year.
So I just have a question for Aikado. I think this is an important one, and I think chat's gonna be with me on this. Are there cards that you don't want nerfed?
Are there cards that I don't want nerfed?
that are played right now, maybe.
Yeah, not like
yeah.
you can't just say I don't want Cythria nerfed.
No, I think
Okay.
TF's like really fucking strong and like really cool. I like TF. TF's really cool.
Would you nerf Azirelia? Anything in this?
Probably not.
No, because
I
the
think
counters can come out and play if Kaisa aren't insane.
if we ever wanted to beat Azirelia, we could absolutely be out there fucking crushing this deck. The issue is we can't be playing those decks right now.
Somebody,
They run
somebody clip that. Kaisa gets nerfed. Darkodia's top seasonals. Somebody clip that. Aikado saying
I would be the
don't think
doomsayer.
so.
that Azirelia wasn't the problem.
Like,
I'm sorry,
they-
you don't think we could play like TF Katarina
Yeah,
plus
just TF Katarina and
Katarina
Tribeam and like you just
and like
destroy that deck.
scouts and
Like
just like
they-
fucking farm?
They play a 1 health Azir now, like just make it rain.
Just
Hello?
make it, bro. Just kill it. Like
They play Sparring Student into Greenglade Lookout or
Duo.
whatever the card's called, Duo into Domination. You just red card their board. Like what the hell did they do?
Fine. Okay,
You
would
play
you nerf?
Katarina on 3 and you Blades Edge Domination.
Would you nerf anything in Jace Heimer? I think
Oh,
that's a good
you
one.
know I do want Nerf. Maybe Defiant Dance is like slightly pushing it.
Defiant
Like 5
Dance
mana
is a good
Defiant
card.
Dance.
I think
you
Jace
know.
Heimer's probably fine. If Jace Heimer's the best deck, I'm okay with that. Big mark.
been
Handler is
really
probably
strong
the
for a long
push. I think Handler is
It's an
push.
alright deck.
If it-
I don't know.
If it gets a nerf, I wouldn't be upset with it just because it's kind of like the Fiora thing, right? Where it was like just so strong for so long. Like it's literally been like this, like third best tournament deck for like 5 months or something, right?
But it's never been the best one. It's kind of okay with me.
I'm proud to shoot it, man. What do we want to
Really?
hit in there? When it hit handler?
And the best card's still Ferris Financier, even post nerf. Like
yeah,
that
but
card's
like-
insane.
Yeah, but it got hit enough that if you hit it again, it just
It's
becomes
just done.
unplayable.
Yeah, you're cutting the card from the game if you nerf it again.
And
I like
to
red.
be fair, that is what they did to Telescope. So
Good.
I gotta, yeah, I have to agree on
Oh,
that.
my poor telescope.
Honestly, I think Financier's like a fine card. Like I know it's strong, but I'm like totally fine with it. Like I think that the RNG isn't that crazy. The pool is pretty small. You have like a pretty good idea of what they could have. It gives you a lot of value, and it's a very strong card. But I think it's fine.
You know, Jace Lux is thriving because no one plays Ionia these days. Like you
Jace
just
Lux
like
is thriving. he
you
said.
can
Yeah.
like someone tries to shock blast you, you just like fork them with Twin Discipline, or you just deny whatever the hell they want.
Who's shock blasting you?
Jace Lux has twin disciplines.
Oh, are you saying Jace Lux or Jace
Yeah.
Heimer? Right?
Okay.
You're talking about
okay,
Jace
that was-
Heimer. You're like,
Okay,
Jace
Jace
Lux
Heimer.
is kind of insane. And we're like,
Oh, I'm sorry. It might be.
Oh.
We're talking about the same deck here.
Thank
Right?
God, thank
It's
God.
the Shadow Isles deck.
Clip
Yeah.
it and ship it.
Ionia and
No.
Target just dropped off the map for some silly reason.
yeah,
that
it
makes me
was
very
some Star Guardian reason, maybe.
Yeah,
Something
just
like
need
that.
some Star Guardian.
That's not what she sounds like in League of Legends, by the way.
I have yet to find that out.
I'm like okay with like voice actors being different, obviously, and like them sounding different. That's fine. Take your creative liberties or whatever. It's like drastically different. She doesn't have that accent.
Which
in
one
League
is
of
that? Which one?
Legends. Kaisa?
Star
Oh,
Guardian
okay. She
Kaiser.
sounds super different in League than
She
she does
sounds.
in LOR.
She doesn't have that accent in League.
Okay. Sure.
It's very distinct.
Yeah.
Yes. Yep.
Are you making
wait,
fun
I
of her
just
accent? Is
saw,
that what you're
I
getting
just
at?
saw someone in chat call for a Fangs revert.
Please.
Hearts.
Please.
Bro, yes.
It's time.
do
It's
it.
been time for a year,
What's
man.
up?
I want my boy.
Yeah.
I want my boy back.
Do you guys
Part of the
think
turn.
that's
I want my
enough?
soup.
No.
No,
No.
it's not. Invokes has been a dead strategy for a long, long while.
I want my Targon soup. That's the best
Return
flavor of
the
soup.
boy. Unleash the lad.
Remember Solari Priestess used to be really good as a 1/2, and then it was bad, and then as a 2/2 it was really good, and now it's unplayable again.
Yeah, it's so slow.
Sure, bring it back. I'm fine with this.
Like I put Solari Priestess in a deck recently for like a gauntlet challenge where it was like I have to win gauntlet with like the 6 worst champions in the game. So I played one of the decks was Carmeliona, and I played 3 copies of Solari Priestess, and I played Solari Priestess. I was like, this card sucks so bad, and it used to be so good twice.
Okay, you know what do you think about the fact that he stealth nerf Daybreak, the Rayhoon card? It
Oh.
generates
Oh, God.
Daybreak.
Oh,
And now
yeah.
that you can get that god awful 5 drops. That's
card looks
so
much.
bad, man.
God.
So bad. Nick says he feels like a lot of the meta is the way it is because Kai'Sa's Irelia Thralls went on 6. Yeah, it's basically like a turn 6, turn 7 meta right now.
It is a turn 6 meta. And it's not necessarily meaning that it's a bad thing. It's fine having turn 6 meta where you can have meaningful way to interact that does not feel bad.
You just don't.
And we just don't have those.
You just
so
don't.
far. And
Yeah.
I mean, do I need to point out that every single one of those decks has Shurima in it?
No.
Oh my
No, I
God,
get it.
say
I'm with you.
Shurima.
yes, for sure.
I'm gonna give a slight interjection here just because I'm not part of the Doomsayer category quite yet. But like, while I find certain gripes against some of the top decks like Bard, Kai's, and things like that, I haven't not been enjoying playing the game simply because I like to play Yasuo Katarina. It's good right now, and I find meaningful interaction into those matchups. And I've realized that in every meta, I've had decks that I just hated playing against. But like right now, I've had a deck I enjoy playing against, so it's like bearable for me. But you know, just like it's not all doom and gloom out there. And
Like
keep
I
the-
mentioned, I don't think it's
you
the
know.
worst meta game we've had. Like people has been saying, I
No.
think we've had a worst meta game. I think it's an under average one. I think it's like not amongst the best that we've had. But like things are not like looking 100%.
Gwen
There's
is
not really
gatekeeping
any
aggro. Cap. That ain't true, my guy.
Aggro has been dead.
Yeah.
Aggro's been dead for 2 metas now. Like
Yeah.
Nah,
straight up,
man.
no
Gwen is-
aggro.
Ride
Gwen
him
is-
before Gwen.
Gwen is only being played in aggro.
Yeah.
Right
She isn't good.
Gwen is the best
Isn't there
aggro
like
deck.
a 60% win rate aggro deck right now?
now.
Right? She-
Is it
fucking
the
fighter?
Zig Siver one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it
Oh.
Shurima?
It's there to beat. It's Shurima, and it's there to beat Kai'Sa.
I'm just saying, like, there's still a 60% win rate aggro deck. Everybody always says aggro dead.
Aggro's generally
Aggro is
fine.
kind of.
Any Jin's
Jason,
doing
I'm pretty
okay.
sure you're muted, bud. I'm pretty sure you've been muted for like the past half an hour. In case you
Oh
thought
no,
we
I
were
just
ignoring you.
I haven't actually said anything for half an hour.
He just
I
likes
was
to
saying
say
last
that.
season,
Yeah.
last season aggro was real dead.
Okay, give us some hot takes.
About aggro?
About the game.
Hey, Jason, how's your game going?
How do you guys know I was playing a game?
You can see on the list.
On the what?
He's just in game.
Yeah, it's just Jason in game.
What's the matchup?
Oh.
Hey, do some live comment.
Okay, look, so it's crazy. So I'm playing Mono
Hey, guys.
Kai'Sa, but my opponent's playing Mono Kai'Sa.
You're
That is
playing
crazy.
Mono
Ever.
Kai'Sa.
But who has the attack token?
I'm bored. I just want to win. Okay, I don't want this fucking meta sucks. Shurima's stupid. Burn it all to the ground. Where the fuck is best of 3? Sorry, I was holding it in for a long time.
All right,
Let it
I
out.
woke him up. Okay, you can go back to sleep.
Let it all out.
Thank you.
I
Sorry,
will
I'm getting
say-
my ass kicked over here.
This is not the worst meta, like by far. It's not the worst meta, but there are so many decks that I think are so cool, and I want to play so badly, and I get so excited to try them, and then I go online and I play one game and I'm like, yeah, this deck rocks. This is so sick, and then I play against Kai'Sa and get blown out on turn 5. Like I just lose the game on the spot, and I'm miserable. I hate losing to Kai'Sa so much.
This feels like the
The
conversation.
only thing,
we
hold on,
had
hold on.
at
The only
this
thing I hate more than losing to Kai'Sa is listening to Bay bitch about losing. Let me tell you, this man can bitch. He's like grade A. Like
Yep.
we'll be like,
He's been
okay,
streaming
4
for
o'clock
70
meeting. We'll be
hours.
like
That's it.
3 hours later. He'll be like, and then they fucking had the supercharge again.
Yes.
Like Jesus, how do you remember all these games?
Yeah.
I do feel like this is the exact same conversation we are having literally a year ago when Azir Irelia was the deck. This is like the exact same
I was
conversation.
gonna point.
Hard to interact with.
Agree.
The counters don't actually beat
It's
it.
gonna keep happening too. I feel like last season was not the norm. what's going to keep happening is the card pool is massive and they can't test everything. Like literally in the first hour of the patch being live is way more testing than their whole team gets to put in because it's just like a few people, right?
That's
And
any game
so-
ever,
the
though,
problem
right?
is not on them. Like that's just the way it is.
And so, well, I mean, like, you know, like other games have like more of a budget, and they do things like they rotate cards out so that the pool doesn't just grow for forever.
Yeah, we're gonna have a rotation at some point. Just when it'll come is a question.
Well,
and you
we
would
don't
like
know
it
that for
sooner rather
sure.
than later. Yeah, come on. Think
but
it's
anyway,
2
things are just going
years?
to keep being like this, right? They're just going to be super linear, and like it's almost as if we need some sort of way to ban the fucking decks when they're a problem. That's the solution to me. The best of one is always going to be like this.
The solution is
and if
light light the most popular game mode on fire and just like pretend it's
No,
not there.
what are you talking about? Keep best of one. Keep both, just like Magic has.
No, but just like abandon it is what you're saying.
No, what the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah.
Magic has best of one and best of three. They both feed into the ladder
No,
together.
It would
the
still
same
be
ladder.
it would still be in the game, but you're saying the solution to making the game good is to pretend the main game mode doesn't have problems and focus on something else. That's what you're saying.
No, the main game mode is what you play for tens of thousands of dollars for. That's the main game mode. This is some stupid
Nope.
thing we have to do
No, it's
to
not.
qualify
It's
for
not
that.
the main
Oh, really?
game
How
mode.
much money do you win fucking playing ladder? Yeah, zero.
Speaking of best of three, I haven't
Wait,
played
I think
much
I
tournament
just
or
need to pop
competitive.
in here and say that me and Jason are agreeing on something, so everybody check your doomsday clause.
It is your main game mode. It is not the way
I
that
had
the
today.
the
I
main
had August 1st.
the majority of people play the game. We are a very, very, very small
because
percentage.
we don't have best of three, bro.
They wouldn't play it
Sorry,
anyway.
what were you saying, Aikado?
I would ask about because we've had like a couple tournaments, right? OLS was this last weekend. We have a tournament coming up this upcoming weekend. Is the best of three meta actually better? What sort of things are actually being played in tournaments? Because I slept through OLS check-in like I usually do.
Nice.
So
Well done.
I'm just asking if we have any insight on that.
I'm usually the tournament guy, but I didn't even try because I was playing Aegis, right? Like we had this really
Oh,
cool
we did
Star
Star
Guardian event where we got to like make cool BB decks instead of having to play with like competitive bullshit. So it was fun to go do that.
3 out of 8 competitors had Kai'Sa.
So I talked a bit
That's only
to
3.
a couple of guys that played OLS.
I've had Bard, right?
Yeah. So,
Four had Bard.
I'm pretty sure it's 5 because there's the Bard Shen in there too. Sorry, go ahead.
Okay.
And I prepped with some people that did try to like figure out the tournament meta. I don't think it's that good a meta because I do think the dichotomy of Bard Illaoi and Kai'Sa and their matchup spread, like between themselves, you can argue like it's playable. It's a playable matchup, but like the decks that are trying to do both and they are such a high play rates, both of them, it's not really coming together nicely as like a package. The third deck is always like gonna be like a super big problem. So the 2 deck meta games that we have on the ladder at the moment feels like we also have in tournaments. And sure, you can ban Kai'Sa in trying to beat Bard, but then like you play against like a Kai'Sa lineup and the other 2 decks it's not Bard, you run into like a lot of problems. It feels like it's not that great of a tournament metagame, and I might be wrong on that because I didn't get to play with us, but I did prep a bit. But yeah, I'm not in love with the tournament meta that I'm seeing, and from the people that did win and the decks at the top, it just kind of all was expected. So I don't know if there's much place to it. There's sweet decks like Ashe Blanc that like can be playable in tournaments and can make sense. It's like I think actually an interesting deck to talk about, or like Viego can come back, and you won't see that on ladder. But I don't think it makes for like an interesting metagame as far as like if we compare it to last season at least. Hell no. If we compare it to other bad metagame like the Pantheon metagame, maybe, but I don't think it's super great right now.
Oh, thank you for the insight.
Fair enough.
Yasuo, I think is definitely more of a tournament deck than a ladder deck from what I'm seeing right now, and I do think in the last week or so things cemented a bit more. Now we are seeing Katarina with Twisted Fate and the Raven Bloom control deck, which shakes things up a bit, and Troll for sure is still prevalent in tournament once you get the ban. Which I don't necessarily think it's as bad as the thing that you might think right now, Aikado, but I know there's still the metagame isn't still 100% figured out. It's just like those two decks, they're just so head and shoulder above the rest that it just feels kind of bad. Also, there's Azuralia base lineup. That's something because like that deck has like such polarizing matchup spread that you can like build a lineup around it and things like that. And Bard Chen just came into the meta like this week. I've never heard of that deck like before 4 days ago. So maybe chase things up because now you can actually make a lineup that's hard target Bard Illaoi or something while banning Kaisa. Like once you get to ban Kaisa, the Shen deck feels way stronger. And now I would be, now I'm talking it out loud, I would be very sad in tournaments if it just becomes a bug abused tournament because like why shouldn't you play Key Guardian? 'Cause
Hopefully-
it's so good.
Hopefully they
Hopefully,
fix
if
it,
it's
right,
changed
guys?
in like 2 days, you know, right?
Hopefully it's fixed.
Guardian, Sharp Sight, other things.
It feels like there are different things that come up every single day on Twitter since patch. It's just, and then sometimes people didn't realize at the beginning that, you know, like Evolve healed your person when it comes out of
The Gleaming Lantern one, by the way. Like,
Oh, the
yeah.
Lantern one's so fucked up, dude.
Gleaming Lantern
Bro.
attach.
Yeah.
Okay,
Not
so I
okay.
think that there's a strat there. If you can find a real win condition, you don't have to like all in on the stupid combo. If you guys don't know, if you attach while you have Lantern on field, your attached units don't consume the discount, so you can play it over and over. It's not that good, except if you have Akshan, something you can start popping hordes really early. I think if you don't lean super hard into the combo, instead like just sometimes on turn 4, turn 5, you pop the horde for some fucking reason. I think there's something there. I don't know if it's actually a bug or not, but it's kind of fucked up.
Sorry, what is this?
You don't think it's a bug?
So
Right.
based on
I
okay,
forget if they confirmed as a bug or not.
So,
it's unclear to me.
the only thing that they've said is that Walrus came out and said, okay, so we changed the way that attached units come down, like they aren't played anymore, because if
So they
were
don't consume
played,
a husk.
yeah, they
That's-
would
that's why
interact
they
really
changed
weird with Husk. So based on
Okay.
the text on the cards, it's not a bug. It's kind of intended, but
the,
dear
the, the
God,
bug being that if you play an attached unit, you still get reduction from your lantern. The reduction is not consumed. That's the bug.
yeah, because you aren't playing it. Yeah, no, it's stupid.
You have to. You have
Do you
to.
think maybe that's not a bug?
I mean,
You have
it's,
to quick-
it's
you have to
mechanically
quick-
how it works now. Like,
Based on the words on the cards, it's not a bug.
like they
So
probably
you just start attaching
meaningfully-
everything for free?
You can. Yeah. If you
Yeah.
have 2 quick quills, you can infinite attach.
That's so absurd.
According to the text on the card and the text in the tweet, it seems maybe
It's probably
Mm,
I never explored that
unintended.
there because I would feel like a scumbag. But like you can make a bugged up lineups. Like you play Kaisa, you play Bard Chen, and you play Akshan Aphelios.
I think it's it'd be like maybe. You can't play Auction Fellows because that's like 3 regions, but
right.
okay, so like I flipped I did it for memes and like just FF'd over and over and over until I could like flip it on turn 3 for the Twitter screenshot.
So funny.
And it literally took me like 30 bot games of just like FFing on like turn 2 if I did. It's like a 5-card combo or something.
Yeah, but you get to play face browse, which puts some amount
Yeah,
of
face helps
consistency.
out, and like Rite of Calling like helps out. But yeah.
Calling.
Oh, true. Yeah, you just play mono auction. I'm shocked it took you that long.
I have a screenshot. It literally took me like 30 games.
Well, he
Because
was
you
going
have
for
to
turn
double-
3.
You have to hit double Quick Quill and Lantern and Auction on turn 3. Like I popped it on like turn 5 a couple times. I'm like, nah, that's not good enough for the screenshot. Let me go.
You gotta do
We
it on
tried-
turn 3.
Yeah.
Are we
It's only a
all-
matter of time until a deck like that becomes like actual, like just busted, like tier 0. And then everyone like actually has something to complain about.
And then they nerf it in 2 months. I'm bitter right now. I don't know if you can tell.
The desert
You
ass
seem a
over there.
little bit.
I'm a little bitter.
He's in his own desert.
It's the subathon, man. It's getting to me. When you're not allowed to leave your computer, it really gets to you after the 3rd day.
Hey, do you guys remember what?
what's really killing it right now, bro?
Being outside?
Multiverses?
Multiverses is pretty sick.
Batman's sick as fuck,
That
dude.
game is nice to watch.
Yeah.
Like I'm not a player, but like it's nice to watch. I always like.
Are we calling it for podcast?
I-
Are we
I
good?
have one last question I
think
wanted
so.
to ask.
I just want to real quick. I know it feels like it's been a long time, guys. It's literally 2 weeks this Wednesday. since patch.
Not. It
I
hasn't
didn't
even been
believe it.
2 weeks yet.
Just
I didn't believe it. It's like it was the 19th is when patch
weeks.
notes came out.
Two
And we have
weeks confirmed.
seasonals in like 2 weeks or 3.
No, seasonal is still a month-ish away.
No, it's
Like
3 weeks
3
I
away.
think it's like
Alright,
3
bye,
weeks away.
It's,
Well,
it's
we're
almost
gonna
4
get-
weeks.
But
Hi,
we're gonna
Jordan.
get a big patch before seasonal, right?
I don't know.
That's the
I
hope.
think it's almost confirmed. Like this, because just the way the cycle worked. Like this next patch is bug fix, and the patch after that, when it's no release, there's usually a kind of big changes like
The issue is
nerfs and buffs
that
and things like that.
the way it lands, I think that like the normal cadence would be a week before seasonals we would get the patch.
Yes, it would be kind of a week before seasonal.
Yes.
to get
So
a big
I don't know if we're getting a patch or
I'm
not.
sure it's a
'cause
bad thing.
Usually they don't do that.
Yeah,
I literally think it's like Wednesday before seasonals, like 4 days before seasonals. I think is when it would land.
They have to because the seasonals are only the season's already 5 weeks long now.
Yeah,
so
but
the
it is
cadence
like an
doesn't
exception
line up
to the
good
rule.
anymore.
it is the shortest season we're ever gonna get. Like it's not.
Yeah,
so,
I think
just don't
you
do
have to
anything like
patch.
that.
You have to patch. Let everyone have 10 days. Like that's enough time. Figure it out. At least Kaisa, right? We always touch Kaisa.
Please,
Please.
please.
Yeah, we-
I don't want to Kaisa seasonals. I don't.
Okay, my last question was, and it's very quick. Anybody found a playable Evelynn deck, or were we done on that?
Nope.
We done.
Use
Nope.
bad.
Okay, okay. So Evelynn, Poppy, Bandle City is
I'm listening.
pretty okay. So the thing that's really broken about it is that
Ringing
if you cast
endorsement.
Purple Berry Husk or Purple Berry Shake on a husk, that's a permanent +3/+3. If you cast Stress
Bro.
Effects on a husk, I've dropped on turn 5 a 5/12 elusive Poppy. And it's permanent 5/12. There's something here. I think that Evelynn's cringe as fuck.
Here, go
This
for
is
it.
like
You're
it's
playing,
close.
you're playing Bard, but worse. You're playing a second Bard.
Bro,
deck,
Bard doesn't drop
basically.
5/12 poppies, man.
Yeah, 512 Poppy sounds decent. Like
You're like-
35.
It's like the Always Sunny meme where you're just like pointing at the blackboard like with the chalk. You're just like, look, there's something here. But if you first cast this and then stress defensive.
I've had token on 5 and I've attacked with like 6/7 quick attack overwhelm Poppy, and the fucking Evelynn right next to her also
Yeah.
has quick attack overwhelm. Like, it kind of gets fucked up fast, but winning games, like actually winning games, is hard. So
The
you
biggest
know,
problem Evelynn has is like Nick said it in chat, and I felt the exact same way. Is like on turn 4, Evelynn is insane. She's
It's okay.
huge. She stuffs your attack, or she gets in for like 6. Sometimes she hits challenger. Sometimes she hits elusive. Like it's nuts. She does nothing for the rest of the game, and that archetype / deck has no win condition. You just don't have one.
Every time I play against Evelynn, I kill the Husk that Evelynn generates, and she never flips again.
Yep, and that's the end of that. Yep.
So I think that realistically, once people if people wanted to play Evelynn, you play stuff like Allure, so that like one Husk dying doesn't mean that Evelynn's useless for the rest of the game. And I think there's there's something there. I think that Evelynn's like kind of an inherently broken card in what she does, and at some point will be a part of a tier 1 deck, and we're gonna fucking hate it. So honestly, I'm okay with her literally never being playable. to be honest.
I'm with you.
Oh yeah.
Now, Gwen, on the other hand, I think is the opposite. I think Gwen's a very interesting champion, strong, cool. We just figure out how
I
to
think
do
Gwen
it.
Aphelios is actually okay.
What if they buff Fangs? And you'd probably
Yeah.
play the other lifesteal hollowed,
Ooh.
unless you want to play Fangs.
Mm,
unless-
Fangs. It's just 1 health less and no hollow.
Generate the card.
Serpent.
Serpent with hollowed.
Or the trickster with hollow.
Or a Sun Forger.
Anyway, anything else, guys?
Nah, it's pretty much.
Um,
It. Don't leave me.
I gotta hang around. What do you need?
Wait,
Nah,
yeah,
I'm
Majiin,
just
got
playing.
some multiverse.
you wanna play some League?
Oh, that's right. You got on a league kick. I saw that on Twitter, huh? How much longer do I have? I don't know, like 12 hours or something. 11 hours.
Pull the timer.
Ping us or something. I don't know.
I'm down to play some league. Oh god, 10 hours. I had 10
Hell
hours on the
dog.
timer.
I need to eat dinner because I was in a rush.
I'd be
All right.
I'd be down to league it up if you guys want to play some league.
Yeah, I'm down.
I can't play that game.
I think I'm level. I think I'm level 11 now, over 6.
Sheesh.
Whoa.
Okay.
Okay, you're a
Heck
new
yeah.
player.
Yeah, no, he's yeah.
I'm level 3.
Yeah. It's
I'm
pretty
not pushing
good.
leave if you guys want.
Yeah. Just
Down.
give me like 10 minutes. I need to eat though.
Yeah, I can go make iced coffee. Meet you guys in 10 minutes.
Sure. Sounds good.
Oh, sounds good.
All right, everybody.
Guys,
You want to be in the
thanks for
Discord?
podcast.
Yeah,
We're not
yeah.
just doomsayers. We promise.
Yeah, the
Go
game's
to
gonna be fine.
go to my Discord.
Just fix
Okay.
the price.
Sounds
Yeah,
good.
no, I'm with you. I think there's so many cool things in the game right now. Just fix Kaisa, please.
It's gonna be fine. Fix the bugs.
Yep.
Don't expect it too big of a patch coming in.
Also,
tomorrow.
Katarina.
Don't expect too big of a catch. Yep. All right.
It's cringe, bro. Yasuo Katarina is so cringe.
It is
So
pretty
much
cringe.
fun.
Yeah, it's
What?
pretty cringe.
Cameron.
All right. Bye. 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 Bye.
Bye, 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 bye.
That's always fun.